Guys, we made it. Happy Halloween. This is the end of 13 Nights of Tiki Frights. And we're so excited to end it on a high note with our friend Andrew from Surfside Sips. We've been buddies for a long time. I'm super stoked to chat with him. Before we get talking to Surfside Sips, though, I do want to give one last nod to our sponsor, Plantation Rum. Plantation Rum has been our rum sponsor for all our cocktails the past 13 nights, which you can still find on our website, 13nightsoftikifrights.com. With that said, I think we should get Surfside Sips in here.
Hey!
What's up, buddy?
Woo!
It's good to see you, dude. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, my Halloween.
How's it going? What are you up to this spooky night?
Oh man, I normally do a lot of Halloween orders, but this year has been so busy that I've been able to only do a few. If anyone's been watching my social, you know, I had a really busy summer, and I'm just finally getting caught up. And it's been
business
awesome.
Is good. Business
is good. Business is very good.
That's what we all hope for. You're doing Surfside Sips full time now.
Yeah. I used to build houses for a living, but now this is all I do is sit on the torch and make straws.
Did you have any idea when you first got into glass blowing that you'd be making straws 24/7?
No, man. No, it was it's one of I hate to say it, but I guess I don't hate to say it. Actually, I love to say it. But it's one of those like success stories where it's like it was like this side hustle that I did just for kicks, and it became my full-time job, and I love doing it, and I'm, I couldn't feel more lucky that glass blowing has taken me the direction it has,
How long have you been doing it now? 2 years?
I've only been doing it for about 5 years, man.
Time flies.
Yeah, right?
Time flies. What's your secret sauce to getting such a following?
Oh, geez. I don't know. I mean, when I first started, okay, can I backtrack a little bit?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. So, all right. I'm a general contractor by trade. I've been building houses my whole life, since the 90s. And I remodeled the house of a really well-known glass blower, and he got me behind the torch doing it as a hobby. And I found that contracting really wasn't my like forte. It wasn't my calling. I'm a very good carpenter and I really like building stuff, but doing the business end of being a general contractor didn't sit well with me. So I started just like doing the glass as a hobby, and like kind of like fantasize, like, wouldn't it be cool if I could like kind of make this into something that like actually made a living? Because I'm like, I have so much fun doing it, and I'm really passionate about it. And I don't know. I made a straw for a friend of mine's girlfriend, and I sold some straws locally. This is about 3 years back after I'd been doing it for a couple years. And it just kind of like, I don't know, the writing was on the wall. Like the straw ban happened in San Francisco. And I just like, I decided to just like take a leap and see if I could like do something with this glass straw thing. And it took, and I was really into it, and I was very passionate about it, and I was very, very into it. So I was like posting constantly on social media. I sent straws to any content creator online that I could find that had beautiful cocktails, posted. And I was just able to kind of like work myself into this cocktail culture niche that we have here on Instagram or on social media,
Yeah, so it was for you and your success story has a lot to do with social media and just kind of like making friends and networking and.
Oh, definitely. Like I didn't know about tiki until after I started making the straws. And I discovered tiki through Instagram and through, the tiki cocktails specifically, and wanting to market, I saw those and I was like, oh my God, here's some market that I could tap into. So when I first came into tiki, I came into it from purely pretty much
A business
a market.
perspective.
Yeah. A business perspective.
Yeah.
But I just like, it didn't take long for me to go like, oh my God, these are like my people, I mean, I've always been like kind of had the Polynesian culture on my peripheral my whole life. I've been to Hawaii several times and I've always like kind of had, I wouldn't say a passion, but like, an interest. And, but then when Tiki came on like the whole Tiki scene, especially on Instagram, came on my radar, it was like meeting a bunch of friends, It was like meeting like, oh yeah, my people, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's the best part of Tiki is, we've talked about it a few times on the past 13 nights, is just that you instantly click with some people. As soon as you realize that you have kind of a similar interest, like that's all you need. Next thing you know, you're crushing, if you're Creepers Cove, you're crushing Bud Lights at Tiki Oasis.
Totally. I meant to get you one. Dude, when we were in Vegas, I meant to buy a Bud Light and get. I meant to do it and it didn't.
Oh, you didn't
happen.
do it?
So sorry,
No.
dude. Yeah. It didn't work out.
Dang.
We had a whole conversation about it, if that helps, but I didn't actually buy him a Bud Light and get it to him. So.
Yeah. For those people watching that don't know, if you haven't heard the story before, I was at Tiki Oasis, and the first time I met Creepers Cove in person, I was sitting at a bar waiting for a cocktail, and they came up and just grabbed a whole bunch of Bud Lights, and I was like, really? You came to a Tiki event and you ordered Bud Lights? But to his credit, the bar was very overwhelmed, and the service was, showing as a result of that. So I think he was trying to go easy on the bartender and choose something simple, but now I always give him crap for drinking. And I drink Bud Light. I don't drink Bud Light at a Tiki event. Yeah. He's got to be in here somewhere.
That was the first time I had met Ian in person as well. It was at that Tiki Oasis. So yeah, that was a good one. There was a lot of connections made that weekend for sure.
Dude, you've done a lot of events now.
Yeah. This last year, I really went for it. I was like, I'm gonna see how many I can get in. So I the only one back east that I did was Ohana there at Lake George, and that was fantastic. I will definitely be going back there. That was so much fun.
Was that your favorite event, you think, of the past year?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, without a doubt.
What's the secret sauce at Ohana? What separated it from the rest of the pack?
Let's see. Oh gosh, I don't know. Well, what other people there were telling me is that it reminded them of Tiki Oasis 10 years ago. It was just like, the whole scene is kind of small. The Tiki, what's it called? The Tiki, resort. Yeah, the Tiki resort that they have the event at, is pretty small. Everything's kind of like all just right there. And so where, even Arizona Oasis is still pretty sprawled out, where everyone's kind of just like, and the room part, I don't know, man. It seemed like it was like the Tiki Oasis, but smaller, but just as lit, just as,
perhaps a little more intimate.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I like. Like you want it to be big enough where like your friends make a point to come out, right? Like it's got to be somewhat big enough for people to fly a couple thousand miles, but then you don't want it to be too big, because when it gets too big, now you see each other less frequently because there's so much going on, and
totally. It's a tightrope, right?
It's a tightrope to walk. And I don't even know, because it's hard when you're an event organizer, because as soon as you hit like a certain threshold, and you have to turn people away. Like people get really upset,
right,
when they can't get into an event.
No, I wouldn't want to be in Otto and Baby Doe's shoes at all, man. You know, those are
Big shoes to fill.
big shoes to fill for sure. I've been trying to get into to like Caliente for a couple years now, but that's just like all the vendors there have been, you know, on the grandfathered in for so long that it's just like they're not letting anyone new in there ever.
That's one of those events where they do set that limit and then they cap out and they get crap for it all the time. But you know, the people that go to the event have a really good time.
Luckily for me, I got in the door at Tiki Oasis about 2 years ago, and it was a good fit. So I've been invited back every year. They want me to come back, so that's nice. That feels good, you know.
You're also one of the only people in the game doing it, which is kind of strange.
I'm
really,
you know what, man? Any day now, another glass blower is going to come on the scene. It's going to happen. I'm not, and then it'll change for me. But until then, you know, I'm going to.
Surfside Sips is ready.
I'm going to ride as long as I can, dude. But yeah,
right behind his torch, he's got his, you know, his boxing gloves.
But next year, I hope to go to the Inu Haley's, the one in Atlanta, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So Omar asked me to share a booth with him there, so I'm planning on doing that, and I plan on going back to Ohana because that was so fun. And if I can make the Hukilau, we'll see how it goes. You know, we'll see what the cards say.
Wow, you're all about them East Coast events.
I just want to go to all of them, dude. You know, I just want to hit them all at least once.
Have you ever traveled so much in your life as you are now at Surfside Sips?
Not domestically, no.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like this last year. I traveled quite a bit. Yeah.
Tiki event every other month. Hey, look who just showed up. Creepers Cove. Yo.
Woo! What's up, squids? So those who don't know, like, I have a whole thing with a whole group of folks that I met with Gabe the first time I met him at Arizona Tiki Oasis 2 years ago, right? Right.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. That's where I met you the first time, but I didn't meet Ian the first time until San Diego 2 years ago.
Right. So I met you at Arizona and you met him at San Diego.
Right.
We've been friends longer.
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I met you and Mac and Omar all on the same day, you know, within like 20 minutes of each other.
You know what's funny? Okay, can I go on a side tangent?
Yeah, please.
So I think when you first met me, like I was super hungover.
Yeah.
At the pool cabana next to the pool, and I ended up like just literally leaving. I was like, I don't care that I rented this pool cabana. I'm going back to the room. I'm going back to sleep. And I believe you thought like I hated you, just because like I was grumpy.
Right.
And I also just come from Boston, so I have that kind of mentality. But dude, tonight was a strange night for me.
Yeah.
Something happened at
you were at Woosong, right?
We were at Woosong Road.
Okay.
For the first time. This is the first year 13 Nights of Tiki Frights. We had an in-person event. Okay.
Right.
Halloween night at Woosong Road. It was great. Had an awesome time. Then I drove quickly here to get to Surfside Sips. But I had a strange thing happen. So I've kind of like developed a reputation, I guess, for like not really wearing Aloha shirts. Like usually I wear a black shirt, and this is the only Aloha shirt I wear. So someone dressed up like me.
Really?
Tiki New England dressed up like me.
Patrick dressed up like you?
Yeah, let me pull up I'm going to share my screen. I have a photo.
I can't wait to see this, dude.
And we made sure that, like, because I don't smile in photos. It's a thing with Kevin and Woosong Wednesdays. Like, he can't get me to smile in a photo.
All right.
So we have, look at this.
That Patrick?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, so there's me, and then he actually got the same hat, the East Coast Tiki hat, and he wore a black t-shirt and a black jacket. And he dressed up as me. This is the first time that's ever happened to me where I had someone dress up.
That's funny because that's the first time I've ever seen a picture of Patrick, and I always imagined him to be older in my mind.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't usually have the beard. He grew out the beard just to be me.
That's awesome, dude. What are you drinking on?
What am I like the mug?
No.
Or what am I drinking?
What's it? Yeah, what cocktail?
Oh, well, okay. So I have to confess, even though we are sponsored by Plantation Rum, and you should drink Plantation Rum, I actually had Plantation Rum earlier today. So typically what I do is I will drink a little bit, and then I switch over to my favorite,
Mexican
Coca-Cola.
Coke. Very nice.
So I'm actually drinking Coca-Cola.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I usually do rum and Coke, so that's like my go-to most of the time. It's just so easy.
It is. It is. As much as I love the cocktails, you know, you can only have so many cocktails.
So this year at Arizona Tiki Oasis, the plan is for me to bring my torch with me, and I've already registered to vend. I'm getting one of the in-suite vending rooms, and I plan to have my torch and to be like doing custom straws for people on site.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be so cool.
Right? Yeah, it should be.
You're gonna be tied up though. Yeah, you're gonna have someone to help sell your other straws for you.
Kelsey, the Stone Flamingo, she'll be working the booth. She's worked with me at the last 2 Tiki Oasises, so she's become my number 2 when it comes to vending at those events.
So she'll be able to like sell people the regular straws, and they can watch.
Yeah, she'll be working the register while I'm on the torch.
That's gonna be awesome, dude.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Do a lot of the, I don't know what are they artisanal? Would that be the word?
Yeah. So imagine. Oh shit! I don't. Imagine. Okay, so I'll have all my straws like on display here, right? And then I'll have the art straws or whatever that I've made. But maybe someone will come up and go, "Hey, I want to buy this bone straw, but will you put an octopus on it for me?" And I'll go, "Yeah, totally." And I'll like decorate that straw for them, put it in the kiln, and then sell it to them. You know. So I'll be doing custom straws on site.
Which event are you doing this at?
At Arizona. Dude,
you better hope that it's not as hot as it was this past year.
Dude, with the in-room suites, the vending suites, I can do it at night. Because I'm not restricted to the vendor hours. When you have the in-room suite, you can vend whenever you want. So yeah, so I'll probably be hanging out during the day and like actually be open at night while everyone's out partying and drinking. I'll be out on the torch,
making
stuff out. I plan on making a lot of money.
It's all about the G's.
Well, no, that's not what it's all about. But I mean, I definitely have a plan.
You and Derek Yanniger are all in it for the money.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be awesome. I can't imagine being behind a torch in 110-degree Arizona weather, but it does cool off at night.
Yeah. No, I think it'll work out. And I was hanging out last year. Let's see, Big Toe and Jeff Granito and all the Tiki Land folks. They all had those rooms, and that back like patio area is actually like shady almost all day long. It's actually not too bad back there compared to like some of the other spots. I think it's going to work out.
Are you going to share it with any other vendors?
Probably not this year. I normally share with Omar from Oakwash, but if he comes, he can, someone else could set up in my room if they wanted to too. I'm not against the idea, but I don't think Omar is planning on coming this year. If someone else wanted to, if I had to like give him the choice, I would probably like invite Christine from like Ricky Tatiki if she wanted to share a spot. She would be my second choice probably.
What about Olmec? You gotta get Olmec.
No, yeah. Matt could set up with me too. I'd be into that for sure. He doesn't have a lot of stuff.
So everybody message Surfside Sips. Fill up his suite with vendors.
Yeah. Just one other.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Ottawa Baby Doe would feel about 13 vendors sharing.
It's expensive. It's not cheap to have those suites. So I'm expecting it to pan out.
But before that, you're doing Inuhele. That's your next.
Let's see. When is that? Do you know? Is that April?
I think it's earlier. It's usually like January, I want to say.
Oh, no shit. Oh wow. Yeah. Well, I better look into that.
You better start hustling.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, buy plane tickets. Speaking of plane tickets, to all you East Coasters, East Coast Tiki folks, I will be in New York City from November 18th to November 24th. I'm visiting Manhattan with my family, with my kids. We're going to tourist around Manhattan. So if anyone wants to like invite me over for a Mai Tai, I'm down. Hit me up.
Are you going to go to the Sunken Harbor Club?
I don't know what I'm doing. Hit me up.
You got to go to the Sunken Harbor Club.
Tell me where to go, man. I've never been to New York, or not in like 25 years. So
Sunken Harbor Club's cool. It's like it's a
right.
bar kind of like hidden away above another bar, and the bar below is super popular, and it's all themed nautical. So they have a big like fake window behind the bar that looks like you're underwater, and all the cocktails. The menu. So the menu is my favorite part because it actually corresponds to the depths of the ocean. So at the beginning of the menu, the cocktails are kind of like light and airy and not terribly strong. And then as you flip through the pages and you go deeper into the ocean, you get like the heavy cocktails, you know, your old fashions and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Do you know what part of town it's in?
I think it's no. I guess not. Right. If you're in like the main tourist area of Manhattan, right. I think it's maybe a 30-minute train ride.
Okay.
On the subway. I think it's south.
What's it called again?
Sunken Harbor Club.
The Sunken Harbor Club. All right. I'll put that on the list.
Definitely hit it up. That's super good.
Yeah.
Are you going, you're doing the whole Thanksgiving thing?
You know, we're actually, because it's so cheap to travel on Thanksgiving Day, that we'll be flying. So we're skipping Thanksgiving and just we're gonna we decided it's just me and my two kids. I have two teenage kids, and we decided to do like Chinese food at, you know, somewhere awesome in New York. I'm sure someone will recommend someplace awesome.
Yep.
Ian lived there for a while, so he's recommended a few spots for me.
Okay. I don't know. The landscape may have changed. New York is an you know, constantly evolving city.
It's in flux.
Don't fall in love with anything, because chances are it'll be replaced in 3 years with something new.
Oh, that's weird, man. Yeah, I haven't been. Last time I was in New York, I went to the top of the World Trade. So
yeah, well, like
how long it's been since I've been there, man.
So you mean the Trade Towers?
Yeah, the original, yeah.
Yep. See, Creeper's Cove says facts. There you go. Facts. So, dude, looking behind you, it looks like there's a ton of equipment behind you.
All right.
What is all that? What's going on?
Okay. So I share a studio with a few other glass blowers. So I have this great big impressive shop behind me, but like most of that isn't mine. What I got going on here is, let me switch hands. Is this machine here is mine. This is a fire polish machine. I won't fire it up, but the straws will go up this little conveyor belt here, and they roll through and get polished on these little torches there. So yeah.
To make them shiny?
Okay, so when I make the straws, I cut these long pieces of tubing. I'll give you a quick demo, all right? Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Let's see what Surfside Sips is all about.
All right. So this is how Surfside Sips makes a straw, the most simplest of straws. I start out with these pieces of tubing like this. I buy them in bulk. I buy big cases of this tubing. They come in 4-foot sections. I have a bunch of jigs that I use here to measure the length. And I just put it on the end of the tubing. I got this cutter. And I just score it.
It snaps right off?
Yeah, it's kind of the way the glass works, right? So
do you have those in different lengths?
The jigs? Yeah, I have them all like in 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch, all that. Ah, my shopmate Kai just rolled in.
Hey.
What's up, buddy? Doing a live stream on YouTube right now. So this is my torch. I got this little thing that looks like a taser. Whoops, wait, there it is. But that's
It's a little terrifying,
right?
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
So I think you got like a little cocktail pick in front of it.
It's like the new version of the striker, right? But now you can just like zap it. So I get my torch out to a flame that looks like this. Here's the piece I just cut. Can you see the torch?
You got like one little pick in front of it.
Oh, I see that shit. All right, hold on. There we go. Wait, that's better, right?
Yep.
All right, there we go. And
I'm gonna make it bigger.
When I say fire polish, I just go in and just like polish up the end till it's nice and smooth, right? And if any of y'all that have used my straws, you know what I'm talking about. The end's like all nice and smooth and like rounded off. So this machine essentially does what I just did with this straw. I'll just like I'll just set a whole bundle of pre-cut straws into the vat there, and they run down the conveyor belt and it fire polishes them, just down the line. So that's something that's been going on in my world lately is I'm working on mass producing the plain regular straws on a massive scale so I can wholesale to bars and restaurants, because I'm trying to get more straws into places like that.
And you're doing a lot with the logos too, right? In terms of decals.
I am. Yeah. So I'm working with a company in Southern California, and if someone's willing to buy 100 straws, I can get bake-on decals that I put in the kiln and bake logos onto straws. I've done logos for Tanduay Rum. I've done some for the Golden Tiki in Las Vegas. I did some for Coswayne Dunksel when he did dropped his last mug.
Yeah, I have one of those. It was a bamboo.
Yeah,
I have
for
it
sure.
somewhere.
I did some for. Did you get one of the Gurtiki mugs? The Bob Gurr mugs?
I did not. No.
Yeah, because those all came with a Gurtiki branded straw
Nice.
too. So yeah, I've been collaborating with a few people.
I have a Trader Duke's one.
Oh yeah, I made a bunch for Frank for Trader Duke's for sure. Yeah, and that was just his home bar, But yeah, so if anyone's into getting that stuff done, I recently got my hands on a laser etcher. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I'm close. So soon I'll be able to do like ones with etching on them, which is it's just less expensive than the decals.
Okay.
But and I'll be able to do it. Just gives me more versatility, right?
How do you put the decals on? Technically,
the ones I use now, the company I buy them from, they screen print them, and then it's called a water slide decal. So I soak the decal in water, and then I slide it onto the straw, and then I have to let it dry I have to let it dry, and then I bake it in the kiln for like 30 minutes at about 1100 degrees, and that bakes the ink onto the glass. It's like it fuses it together pretty much. So it's like I can scrape it with a razor knife. You can run it through the dishwasher, all that. It's like it's on there.
Okay. I see, when I hear kiln, I usually think of mugs. I don't necessarily think of glass.
Well, here, check it out.
Let's do it.
They're a little different than the glass blowing kilns, right?
Yep.
So this is one. It's like a clamshell, and I just lay the straw. Oh, actually, this other one has straws in it, so I'll show you this one.
Now, does this obviously you can do decals in it, but when you're firing the straws, sometimes I see you when you're doing your live streams, you kind of like pop it in the kiln. Is that to prevent it from cooling too quickly?
Yes, exactly. Some of the straws I make, as long as the wall thickness is, under 3 to 4 millimeters, I can let them air cool, but then I'll still put them in the kiln afterward because it's called annealing, where if you bring the entire thing up to one constant temperature and then let it cool slowly, it strengthens the glass.
Okay.
And so, but if it's like thicker than like 4 or 5 millimeters, I have to stick it in the kiln while it's still hot. Because while it's if I let air cool, it's like too fast and it'll crack.
Does it explode or does it just like?
No, it just cracks. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's not as
sound.
epic.
It's the worst sound ever. Like I'll be sitting and I'll hear it like dink. Like, oh fuck, dude! You know, you just know that one straw is wrecked. You know.
There's no coming back from that.
Yeah, totally.
Dude, I have at the end of this now. It's it doesn't really work as much because I've gone through so many straws in the past week. But I found these 2 bowls from Kowloon. Kowloon's my most recent one. So I put like this is a mug and I put it inside of the Kowloon bowl. And then I have my cocktail umbrellas, and then I have my Surfside Sips go in the. So
nice,
that's how I display. Everybody's got to have a special little display of all their straws.
That's something that I've been like thinking about a lot. That I really feel like I need to like offer some sort of way to display the straws in my online store. You know.
For sure, dude. Because once you get I mean, it doesn't take long. Once you get your first Surfside Sip, you know. You come back for more. You're Jones, and you gotta get more of those straws.
I hear it's an addiction.
Yep. And then once you have 30 straws, it's like, well, what do I do with these straws? Yeah, I know you have the traveling cases that you've worked on in the past. You know, for bringing them to the bar, but everybody's got to have their own little Surfside Sip display at home.
Right? Yeah, Ian has a good one. I think there's a few. I can't see who all's watching right now. I don't even know how many people are watching us right now.
So Ren Provost
watching right now? Yay, dude! That's who I was gonna ask if she was here. I love her. She's one of my favorite people.
Ren says we tuck their straws in mugs, so that's how they're storing their Surfside Sips.
So earlier I was just like playing around, and I like took this straw and I like put a series of bubbles in it and then like put a little tweak at each bubble. So this is what I do like to get my yayas when I'm like bored and I want to just like.
Does that change like when you're drinking? Does it make it hard to drink?
No, not really. So the I don't really have. I have one right here. This is Ren's, as a matter of fact. Like straws, you all have seen my inline straws, right? Like the ones like this is a shrunken head that I made during my live stream last week. So these ones, when you drink through them, they kind of like they percolate a little bit because there's like a bubble. So when you drink through them, sometimes they'll give a little like a little like percolating little flutter, you know. But as far as like actual consumption, I don't think it's really affected. Fuck, dude, I wish I had some of those ones that I made for Contigo. I made some straws for the Contigo Tiki Lounge that were
not that tall mug. You did
for the Chimp in Orbit mug, man. I made some 24-inch straws, and I drank out of it. It was, it's not that noticeable. I don't think
you didn't have to like really sip.
Yeah, you don't really have to like reef on it or anything like you're taking a bong hit or something. I mean, I do sell a straw in my online store that's like it's a 15-inch like scorpion bowl straw, you know.
Well, you got to.
But I'll do anything.
Bowls, volcano bowls.
Any of y'all watching? Most of y'all probably know, dude. Everything, like I said, I started with a piece of tubing like this. It's 4 feet long, so I can make I can do anything, any length. You know, Patrick knows of Tiki New England. He has a bunch of my silly straws and stuff that I've made. You know, I just I like to have fun with it. It's I feel so lucky that I'm able to do this. You know,
this is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
that you do the classic puffer here.
That is so funny because that is one of the first ones that I've ever made, man.
Well, I pulled this up from your website, Surfside
Yeah,
Sips.
no, for sure. No, that's like I've made probably over 100 of those since I've made that one, and they look so different now than they did back then.
Yeah. You learn
Wow,
a
that's
lot
cool,
making the same design over and over
right?
and over and over
You
and
just do
over
it
again.
over and over again.
How
Yeah,
much time do you think it takes you to make one of these puffers these days?
30 minutes.
That's a lot of
Yeah, I
time.
can make one in about 30 minutes.
How do you do all the well, first of all, so are you like taking both ends and then pushing them together and then it makes the bubble, or are you like making the bubble and then attaching the top on?
So I started out taking a piece of tubing and just blowing a bubble, and then attaching, making the puffer fish, and then attaching one to the end. But I was having problems with the wall thickness of the bubble not being thick enough. So the new technique I found that works really well is I actually take a piece of whatever color it is in this thicker diameter tubing, and this will be the bubble. And if I get a piece of this exactly the same size every time, if that makes sense, I know if I blow a bubble out of it with a smaller tube, it'll be like the same, essentially the same amount of glass in every bubble, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And so, yeah, so it's actually three pieces. I start with like what's going to be the straw, the bottom part, then I'll weld it on to one of these thicker pieces, and I'll melt it down and blow the bubble, and then after I decorate it and everything, then I'll attach the mouthpiece that's on the other end.
We had some questions come in.
All right, what's up?
So are the barrels going to be on the website?
Probably not, but hit me up and I'll make you one.
There you go. There's a secret sauce. You just gotta reach out to Surfside Sips directly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mr.
Maybe
Christopher
eventually
Orangebird.
someday, but
Are they just hard to do?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where it's a really cool design, but I can't replicate it well enough to repeat it over and over and over again every single time and have it look the same.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
And so each one will be totally unique, but none of them will look exactly alike. Where the
Gotcha.
pufferfish and some of the critters that I make, the octopus and the turtles and stuff, I'm pretty good at making them look pretty much the same every time. You know what I mean?
You've got it down to a science.
Yeah, word, totally.
Dude, this one, I have to say, I think is probably, personally, I think just so beautiful, really.
That's one of my favorites.
The fishing float. That looks so good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite straws I've ever made. That one right there.
How do you do the line work on top of the?
There's a specific color that I have. It's called Amazon Night. It's called a striking color. There it is. So you can see when it hits the flame, it changes tones. So I take this and I pull it out into a long stringer, and when I draw it on there, it gives it just that really cool like gradient effect. You know, it was so weird when I first started making those, because I started with the pufferfish was Olmac's idea. Mac hit me up and asked me if I could do a pufferfish, but the float, that's one of those things where I must have had at least 10 people ask me if I can make a fishing float before I actually made the first one. And I can't remember who the first person who asked me if I could make.
You just got basically tired of people asking. You're like, yeah.
I mean,
I guess.
If you think about it, I mean, you do like I make tiki themed straws, and then I make this puffer fish, and then people are like, look in their tiki bar and they see these like blown glass floats, and it's like I could see like the connection being made so quick by so many people. Like, hey, this guy blows balls out of glass. Why not make one of these things? And so originally I was gonna like make a blown glass ball and then get like string and like make little netting around them, and then I just thought, fuck, that would be so hard to like clean. That'd be like, and it's not, and I'm not really like a netting guy. So then I decided to just draw it on with in glass, and it came out really well. It ended up
Dude,
being
what does that even mean? Like drawing with glass? Like that sounds like something. That's
okay.
How does one draw with glass?
I'll pull out a long, thin piece of glass like this.
Yep.
And then I literally, I don't want to do a demo right now. But I do it on my live. Oh shit! I do it on my live stream all the time. So if you tune into Surfside Sips live on Instagram, Fridays at 10 a.m., I go live for an hour and I make shit. So if you really want to like see me on the torch doing stuff, that's the place to go to see that. But so this is a long, thin piece of glass that I like pulled out, when it was molten, and I literally draw it on. I do it on the flame, and I just like melt it on there. I guess is the best way to explain it.
Up a banner here real quick. Follow, it's Surfside Sips on Instagram, right? No underscores. It's just straight Surfside Sips.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your live streams are awesome.
Thanks,
I love tuning in every week and getting to say hi and
it's do a lot of fun.
Some of my heckling comments.
You have some good ones.
Fun. Yeah, dude, you've been killing it with all these designs. Mug makers. So one of the questions with mug makers that they get all the time, when someone does a line of 250 mugs and they sell out in 10 seconds, and then people get out their pitchforks and they're like, I don't understand why these mug makers just don't make more mugs. And in the case of mugs, it's because it's just like really excruciating doing the same monotonous thing over and over and over again. Are there any designs that you do with straws through Surfside Sips that you're just like, I don't want to make another puffer?
The orange bird straw.
Okay.
I made an orange bird straw and I posted it, and I ended up making about 20 or 30 of them. And it was a great experience because I got really good at doing this technique called coil pot, but I'd say like probably 1 out of 3 broke. Yeah, it was it was just like the color.
That's not good.
Yeah, that color, that pastel opaque blue is like, pastel opaque orange is like kind of hard to work with, and the whole thing was like, by the end, don't get me wrong, by the end I was really good at it, but fuck, man, the whole design was like that little like leaf arms, like little like leaf wings, and it was in like little leaf like hair things, and they were just fragile, and they were fucking bitching, but they were, I should have charged more. I think I was selling them for like $40, and they were taking me like a solid hour to make, man. Yeah.
That's one of those things that I never would have even thought about. Are there, so like when you're doing different colors of glass, they're different, like easier to work with?
Oh yeah. Well, because to color the glass, they use different minerals, right? So like with blues, they use like cobalt. With reds, they use cadmium, and the cadmium is what's the word I'm thinking of? It's really sensitive to too high of temperatures, so it tends to boil in the flame if you get it too hot. So certain colors you have to be careful with. You can't get them too hot. You can get them like a certain level of moltenness, but if you get them too tight in the flame, they start to boil and it like fucks them all up. So yeah, there's definitely like a finesse.
I never would have even thought about that.
To different colors and things depending on what you're doing. So there's certain colors I won't even use because like really dark greens, they suck. They like totally like bubble out, and it's, if you're impatient, they're not a good color to work with.
Do you mostly get them from like one brand, or is there like multiple brands that you're sourcing your glass from? You don't have to tell us your trade secrets.
Oh, no. If, like... I have the good fortune of having an actual glass blowing shop close to where I live that has like a whole like case of colors that I can go and pick through. I just get whatever looks cool, and they have a bunch of different brands. So I don't like stick to a certain brand. When it comes to the tubing, I have to get it from one specific company because they're pretty much the only company that supplies it.
Have you encountered any shortages? Like there's a whole bunch of talc issues with glazes for ceramic mugs during the pandemic and whatnot.
This color here, this bone white. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of y'all are familiar with my bone straw. Oh wait, there it is. Looks like that.
Yep. It's a Surfside Sips Classic.
This color is no longer available. I bought out every last bit of this color tubing in the United States and China, and I'm down to about my last like 20 pounds of it maybe. So if you want a bone white bone straw, order them now because they're going to be gone soon. Yeah.
What does
that's
a
something
pound?
I'm never going to be able to have it again. They just don't make it anymore. It sucks.
What does a pound correspond to? Like how many straws is a pound?
Maybe like 20 or 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you heard it first, folks. Get in your bone straw orders.
I got a few hundred left, and then they'll be gone. I already took the color bone white out of the as an option for the bamboo straws. So now it's like only for these bone straws, and that's it. I'm sad. I tried so hard to find this color somewhere else. I looked in China, I looked in India, and I just couldn't find it. No one is making it. So it's like,
maybe it'll come back someday. We all have to send letters. Tell us where to send the letters. Send them to Congress with all the issues we have today. Right. It's like, no, I need you to get this bone white glass back. Have your priorities.
But otherwise, I haven't had, most of my materials are pretty easy to get. Luckily for me, everything I do is on such a small scale that like this is a piece of glass rod that I use, like color rod that I'll use to make one of my straws. And I can make so many straws, like I can make 40 turtle straws out of this one rod. So it's like, I don't, materials isn't really, an issue for me.
Wait, do you do turtle straws?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are they on your website?
Yeah, man.
What are they?
Naya, Naya. They're in the critter straw section if you go to the top menu there.
Menu, I'm going to pull it up. Have you tried any designs that you just really wanted to work that you just can't get to work?
Well, it was the shrunken head, but I kind of got those figured out. Let me see. Yeah, there is. Let me just think of it. God, I wish you would have given me this question sooner, because I know there is one. I just can't think of it. There's some Star Wars themed ones, I guess. Oh, geez. Oh, okay. Tay, right? Like Chief Tiki Tay.
This sounds familiar.
Tay, he was at Oasis.
Yeah.
He's Omac's buddy, Taylor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's been trying to get me to make him either an eagle or a cobra for a couple years now, and I'm just like, well, for one, I'm not into it, and for two, it's just like when I try to think about the logistics of making it, it just sounds like a nightmare.
You could probably do the cobra. I feel like the cobra is easier than an eagle. I
made a cobra swizzle stick.
Okay.
So I just put the wings on it or whatever, but I haven't made a cobra straw yet. But I might make one. I've had several people ask me for a cobra straw for their cobra fang cocktail, right?
I would think you would just leave the straw as a straw and just draw the cobra around it.
Right. Yeah, that would be the easiest way to just draw a cobra on it. But I want to make the straw the actual cobra.
See, you're your own worst enemy. You're making this way more difficult than it needs to be.
Totally, dude. I want to make it harder than it has to be.
You have an easier out. Take the easy out, and then you can just make him stop harassing you.
Right.
I found this
That's all
picture.
right.
Dude, this is that's got to be one of the cutest straws I've ever seen in my
Right?
life.
They're adorable. They're
That's
so
so
fun to
great.
make too.
Naya, the baby sea turtle. So people can just order these through surfsidesips.com.
Yeah, and the cool thing is well, the good and the bad is that I'm making them to order, so you can order them on any one of the 15 color straws that I have, on any length straw that you want. But the problem is right now I'm about 3 or 4 weeks out on custom orders, like because I make them to order and I'm the only person that's doing it. I'm if you're gonna have to wait. And sorry about that.
Yeah. You're gonna get a little bit slower because Garland, if I'm saying that correct, just said headed straight to his website after this is over and ordering a dozen straws.
A dozen, woo!
So there you go. Look at this one. This one's cool. Your octopus. That's a classic.
I love those. Those are so fun to make.
How many octopuses do you think you've made at this point? Not enough.
No less than 500.
Holy smokes!
And maybe 1,000, somewhere in there.
That's a lot of octopus straws.
Yeah, quite a few. Yeah, I can knock them out pretty quick. Those are so fun to make. They're one of my favorite straws to make.
And a good seller from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much preparation does it take for you to get ready for an event like Tiki Oasis? How do you balance like fulfilling orders and also like stocking up inventory for an event like that?
It's really, really hard, Gabe. Every year it gets harder. I aim to please, and I really want to get everyone their straws in a timely manner. And this this popularity that I've gotten is humbling, and I'm grateful to everyone. And so it's difficult, it's a hard balance for sure, because I think last year I actually shut down my store for a month just so I could make stuff for Oasis because I was so slammed. And,
I think I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. And I just, so I'm, like I said, I'm trying to just walk the tightrope of having a legitimate, good, respectable online business that gets products to people in time, but at the same time still be able to do these events that I really want to do, that I'm actually way more passionate about, to tell you the truth. So
they are a lot of fun.
I have an employee, I'd be lying if I said I made every single Surfside Sip, but I actually have a guy who works for me that makes a lot of the bamboo straws and stuff nowadays. So most of those are actually made by a guy that works for me.
And then you get to do all the fancy stuff.
I do all the art stuff.
And the turtles. And
if it's an octopus or a turtle or something, then I made it for sure. Are
your shrunken heads that you showed earlier, are those going on the website or no?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's the same as the barrels. I can't, every single one is different, So this is a cool one, and more than likely, if someone wants one, I'm gonna keep making them no matter what. So I'll either put them up for auction on the website, or if you want one, hit me up and I'll make you one, $50. And and it'll probably take a month to get it to you. But or else I'll make a bunch. I'll try to make a few for Oasis or something when I do one of those events. But
Ren is asking. Ren wants to know about Strathulu version 2.
Oh, do I have one of those? All right. So what?
Did you train Strathulu?
Yeah. So can you pull that up? There's a straw on my website called Strathulu, right? And it looks like a tentacle. And the original version was just a series of tentacles that went down the straw. But after, yeah, okay, there they are, right? So now I kept seeing pictures of octopus, and I kept seeing how they have the double row of tentacles going up. And so now I don't make them with a single tentacle going up anymore. They have like two going all the way up. So it's like, again, like I was saying, like the octopus or the pufferfish, like those pictures are so outdated. Those pictures are 2 years old, and I've been learning how to like blow glass for the last 2 years. And so the stuff that people are getting now compared to what's on the website is so much better, you know, just the quality of the art and the quality of the stuff. I really need to update the website.
Do you think a lot of the stuff that you've learned is through mistakes, or do you think it's just like hands-on experience? Like the only way to learn is to actually sit down in front of a torch and, you know, just put the time in?
A little bit of both, right? You know, it's hands-on for sure. But I mean, of course, I learn from my mistakes. You know, I try to anyway.
Yeah. What do you, so like if someone wanted to get into glass blowing, not necessarily straws, but glass blowing in general, like what do you need? Just a torch and a glass, or is there?
All right. So this torch that I have, the brand of this torch is a Carlisle. There's several other brands that make them. If you looked up like lamp working or glass blowing online, that'd be a good start. This particular torch runs on a mix of propane and oxygen, which most glass blowing torches do. And the melting temperature of the glass I use is 1600 degrees. So it needs to, you know, run really hot. You got to get a kiln. There's a really good book called Contemporary Lamp Working that I would recommend to anyone who is really interested, because that's like the Bible for people who do the kind of stuff that I do.
I think we should do a giveaway. What do you think?
Yeah, man. Halloween,
so
let's do some bones.
Oh, you want to do some stuff on your end?
Let's do something on my end, and we'll do something on your end.
Okay, let's do 2 giveaways. Cool. You want? Let's do mine first, so you can think of a question.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna do a Black Lagoon Rum Swizzle. Limited edition pin. If I can get
Love
the focus.
The Black Lagoon Room.
We got the Wolf Man, I believe that is, holding a coconut mug. We're also going to give the correct answer to this question a swizzle stick from the Black Lagoon Room. Give them a follow on Instagram. Here's the question. Surfside Sips motto, fill in the blank. Add blank with glass. What is the motto? Add blank with glass. First person to get it correct in the comments, I will get to win some stuff from the Black Lagoon. Right. All right.
There's a funny story about that logo that I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we already got the an answer, guys. Remember, don't flame me. Don't bring out the pitchforks. Some of it is dependent on how fast you type and network connection. But the correct answer, I hope, I assume I know, is add class with glass. Surfside Sips. First person to get it correct would be Mauricio. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Mauricio. I tried my best. Congratulations. Woo! You get a pin and a swizzle stick from the Black Lagoon Room. Send me an email, admin@searchfortiki.com, with your mailing address so I can ship that out to you.
Nice.
So what's the story?
So when I first started Surfside Sips, I had a friend. I would call him a sales representative, but he came up with the slogan. Oh wait, what was it? Add class with glass with the straw that lasts. And we had kind of a falling out. And he said, "You're not allowed to use my logo anymore."
Oh.
So I dropped the with the straw that lasts part. And I just kept the hashtag add class with glass, and I've used it ever since. And now it's probably got 10,000, hits on there on Instagram.
Yep. And well, honestly, people like a short and sweet message anyway.
Yeah. So my other hashtag, let's do this really quick. I have another hashtag that I use when I'm specifically posting on Tiki sites, it's add blank with glass, and the winner who can get that will win this bone and pick cocktail set.
So what's the question again?
Add what with glass, but not class.
It's not class. Add what with glass?
They know.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to this.
Is anyone answering in the comments?
They are, but I don't know if they got the correct answer.
Well, the correct answer is Tiki.
Yeah, then someone got the correct answer.
All right. Who's that?
Yes. So the correct answer goes to Pamela Flores.
Yeah, Pamela. Add Tiki with glass. Woo! That's my
Reach out to
answer.
Surfside Sips, Pamela.
Yeah, hit me up. Send me a DM or email, and I'll make sure you get these.
Dude, I can't believe it, but it's somehow already been over an hour.
Really? Wow.
Time flies when you're having
You're
fun.
so much fun, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. What is what's going on next? What is that incredible brain of yours working on with glass?
Oh, gee whiz. Let's see. Well, I'm working on the production mode, so I'm trying to get trying to get large orders of glass straws into some bars and restaurants. But as far as the art side end of things, what is the most lately I've been mixing colors, like where I take one color and coat it with another color and then and make cocktail picks and stuff out of it. So I've just been experimenting a lot with kind of not really a plan, just new stuff.
Yep.
You know. Yeah, I'm afraid that's not. I don't have anything new and exciting to launch at this very second.
No, that's totally fine. You're going to be vending, hopefully, at Inuhele. So we got that coming up.
Yeah,
I think that's the next Tiki event. I could be wrong. But probably Inuhele. And then we have this mug to give away.
Do it. Yes.
Look at this thing.
That thing is so sick.
So I was so excited to give this mug away in particular.
I'm jealous to whoever wins this, man.
It is an artist-proof Freaky Deaky Tiki. He's a new ceramic artist in the mug scene. I believe this is his very first mug, at least through Freaky Deaky Tiki. And so give him some love on Instagram. Give him a follow. He just had a mug sale today. I don't know if they're sold out or not. My guess is probably, but
I hope not.
Checking out.
I'm gonna go look.
He only released like the first 50 of 150.
All right.
So there's going to be, even if you missed out on this one, there's going to be more chances to buy it down the road. But yeah, this is so cool. And then the photo that we took. So I was trying to find a fun photo. Turns out you can buy a lot of bananas with $20.
Oh, that was you that did all those bananas?
Yeah. So I was like, what do I do? Because I already had Christine's mug with the skeletons in a cemetery. And originally I was like, I'll do a pet cemetery. But the pet cemeteries are pretty lame. Like they sound way more interesting than they actually are.
Right.
So then we just had this idea to just buy all of the bananas. And so I have some photos behind the scenes where my kitchen counter is just literally piled high with bananas like Donkey Kong. And we're taking pictures of it, and then we're like, something's missing. Something's missing. So we just literally took, a whole bunch of the fake blood from Spirit Halloween, and we're like, all over the bananas.
That was great, dude.
Yeah, so I had so much fun taking that pic. But unfortunately, I kind of don't want to give it away, Andrew. I kind of don't want to let it go. It's such a good mug. But we have to. We have to behave. We have to stay in our line.
You gotta do it.
So here we go. The winner of the Zombie Kong mug from Freaky Deaky Tiki is
Andrew Jordan from Surfside Sips.
Oh. No. Sorry, bud. It is going to Tara Nixon. So congratulations, Tara Nixon. You have won this artist-proof Zombie Kong mug. Send me an email, admin@searchfortiki, to claim your prize. With that said, dude, It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, my friend. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for
And
having me on
this is not just
All Hallows Eve.
the end of tonight. This is the end of 13 Nights of Tiki Frights.
No, right?
I get to sleep again.
Have a good night, man.
Content. Yeah, I've had so much fun. Thanks for chatting with me. Guys,
Yeah,
give Surfside Sips a follow on Instagram. Flood his inbox with the most ridiculous custom order requests so that he's, booked out for the next 3 months.
Do you have a promo code?
I don't have a promo code.
Oh man, we gotta get you one.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, send me a promo code.
Yeah, it'll happen. All right, I'll set it up tonight. I'm gonna set it up tonight. Use the search for Tiki at checkout, and you'll get 20% off. I'll set it up right now.
There you go. Bada boom, bada bing. There's the discount code.
All right.
Use it. And dude, absolute pleasure. People follow Surfside Sips. Happy Halloween, guys. Until next time.
Thanks, Gabe.